Hi guys, welcome back to Acting with Holly. My name's Holly. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. We are going to do an evening garden tour. It is the last day of August. I apologize if you can hear any cheering or anything in the background. I live near a school and they are having a game or a meet or something. So we're going to start over here with our corn bed. So this is our fall corn bed. It is our second planting of corn. This is a early maturing variety, and we planted out an 8x4 bed. It's just now starting to tassel. I don't know what we're gonna get, but I'm excited to see. You can kind of see it starting to tassel out. So we're gonna get some pollination, which is exciting. This is our second bed. It is our asparagus bed, which is completely ferned out and glorious. Underneath on the bottom of it, we do have our strawberries. The strawberry plants are a mix of June bearing and ever bearing. I am not going to keep the strawberries there. I think next year I'm going to plant them all. We've got some vertical gardening spaces, and next year we're definitely going to utilize those more. It's good in theory in terms of a permaculture method, but it's hard to harvest the strawberry without asparagus burns knocking you on the head. So this is our bed that is transitioning. A lot of our things are transitioning since it's August, almost September. So this did have a trellis full of cucumbers on this side and then melons on that side. The melon beetles found and killed all of them. And so inside we still have the Brussels sprouts. We still have a couple cucumber plants hanging on, but they're on their way out. Over here we have some lettuce, which did not germinate very well at all. It was very, very, very old seed, and I didn't do a great job watering it, but we have our cut and come again style lettuce. So we have some romaine, some green leaf lettuce hanging on. And then I did another planting of lettuce underneath this cage, not because it needed protection, but because I just wanted to see if the birds were eating the seed. And I think they were, because this bed germinated much better. We have our rudbeckia that has gone to seed, and the birds are enjoying that. We also have our coneflowers, which have gone to seed, and the birds are enjoying that as well. So a lot of the flowers, once they go to seed, I tend to just leave them for the birds. This bed is our pepper bed. We have gotten so many peppers. So many peppers. We've been able to make pepper jelly. We've made stuffed jalapeno peppers for the freezer. We've given them away. We've donated. We've done a lot of things with peppers. We've frozen diced ones and strips and all kinds of things. So we still have some life in these peppers. So we're still going to keep harvesting and making stuff, but we've definitely had a good pepper year. So in here we have arroz con pollo. And these are really mild, especially if you take out the seeds and the ribs. They basically have almost no heat in them. I have a few more jalapenos. I have some Anaheim peppers. Lots of Anaheim peppers. Also inside here, the ones that are orange are the habanadas. So they're like habaneros with no heat, just flavor, which that's been really fun. We've been picking so many peppers, and there's still so many more blossoms. But there's bell peppers. We've got red ones and yellow ones and orange ones and purple ones, and just loaded down, which has been really nice to have. Definitely had a good pepper year. We have 2 of our extra tomato plants on the back of that bed as well. They're both slicers. They're doing pretty well. We've harvested a lot. This is what I thought was going to be baby corn. I've never grown baby corn before. I'm not 100% sure that it is baby corn. We had a really bad windstorm the other day though, and so it knocked over a ton of my tomatoes that were staked up and really heavy and like loaded with fruit. And then it also knocked over several of the tomatoes of the corn stalks that are supposed to be baby corn. So we'll see what happens with those. But this is our corn bed. And then on the back half of this bed, we have an in-ground vermicomposting system, and our perennial herbs. So we have our parsley, which is not perennial. We have our garlic chives, we have our oregano, and our thyme, all growing back there. So that bed is full of nitrogen from all of the worm castings that are naturally found in there. This bed at the beginning has some holy basil. It has some nasturtium and marigolds that are probably suffering from heat a little bit too. And then in the back of this bed, we have a whole bunch of slicing tomatoes, tomatillos, the actual wooden stakes that I use. These are on their third year, I think, and they actually split down at the bottom from the wind. So next year we'll do more of a permanent system, but this has served me well for a lot of years, so it's working for right now. And we've harvested, 80, 90 pounds of tomatoes probably, and we still have more to go. So can't really complain. We are in the middle of a heat wave drought situation, so it's definitely stressing the plants, which is making for yummy tomatoes, but for really sad looking plants as well. So the tomatoes that we have in the first bed, these Ukrainian purples, these split. They're really good, but they split really easily, and our rain is very inconsistent right now. We have Paul Robeson's, we have Thornburn terracottas, which I believe that's what this one is. And a ton of green and purple tomatillos. A ton of those. Inside here we have, normally I trim these up to a single stem. This month of August has been a busy one, so they're just kind of going crazy and they need a big cutback, but I don't know that they're going to get that. Inside here was melons, and again, the melon beetles destroyed all the melons, so we were able to harvest a lot of Kajari melons and sweet passion melons and some really fun new types of melons to us, but they're done now. We have gold medal tomatoes. We have pink ox hearts, orange ox hearts. These are the Paul Robesons. A lot of splitting this week because of the inconsistent rain, for sure. We have cherry tomatoes that just won't quit, which has been really lovely. And we have Powers tomatoes, which is like a yellow paste. Kellogg's Breakfast, which is a big slicer. We have striped Romas, orange cherry, black cherry, yellow grape tomatoes, black cherry tomatoes, orange ox hearts. Like I said, we have so many tomatoes. We're very lucky. It's been a great year for tomatoes and peppers, for sure. And it's great to be a bumblebee out here, that's for sure. And some dill and some flowers that the caterpillars have been making their home. The swallowtail butterflies have been making their home, and lots of caterpillars and stuff have been there. We have our first 2 jugs of sweet potatoes, and you can actually see some are starting to peek through, and I keep covering it and they keep getting uncovered, probably by the rabbits, who knows. And then this next bed has our zinnias on the end, which zinnias are not minding this heat wave at all, so that's kind of fun. We have a ton of our determinate fall tomatoes in here. So we planted these midsummer, and so this is our second wave of just paste tomatoes. Semi-determinate and determinate tomatoes only are in this bed. And then we have 3 Sunflower Steve sunflowers, which are pointed over the fence at my neighbor. So she gets to enjoy them. But mostly the birds have been enjoying them now because all the sunflowers are kind of past their prime. This bed has all of our straw flowers, which are beautiful and fun. And this is our first year growing them. We will definitely keep growing them because they looked so good. A lot of them have gone to seed. So this week is going to be all about collecting seed for next year. There's our Brussels cage. You can see the wind took its toll on that pretty good. Inside this bed, there's some random pepper plants, and we had some extra lavender and purple beauty, I think is what it's called, lavender plants, pepper plants. So we did put them in there. Most of this bed is done. This was Olivia's flower bed in the front. And so the only things left are the marigolds, some snapdragons that got cut back and had a second life. And then this is our birdhouse gourd plant that just keeps producing. So when this is all done, they will dry out, and then we'll be able to hopefully make birdhouses out of them. So that's exciting. Going from this bed down the fence line, we had all of our wildflowers and our sunflowers. They're definitely on their way out, but the birds are still enjoying them. So we're not going to cut them down until all the seeds are gone. The birds can enjoy them, and then whatever they don't eat will get sprinkled along the fence line, and hopefully there'll be lots of volunteers for next year. And then I have my 20 arborvitae that we planted as little sticks a couple years ago, and they're growing up really nicely to make like a living fence for this area. And then we have our composting area and our cottage garden surrounding our chicken coop. So we planted this together. It's got a whole bunch of perennial ground cover type plants. We've got coneflowers and daylilies and lavender and bee balm and all kinds of fun things. This is our chicken coop. This is our first of our green stock planters. And this is what I mean. We've been transplanting the strawberries into here. And this is how I want to grow strawberries from now on. Being able to walk by and have these garden snacks. You don't have to clean them. They taste good all the time. The bugs and bunnies aren't getting to them. I love them. So I've just been cutting off right now whenever they're making their little babies shoots. I've been cutting them off and then transferring them to that other one and replanting them. So far so good, but I was pretty busy the last week and didn't really get a chance to water them a ton, so I'll probably have to cut some more. So all in front of here we have all of the flowers along the front, and then we added our pea gravel. We have 10 chickens inside our coop. We have 2 black copper Morans, 2 splash Americanas, 2 buff Orpingtons, 2 olive eggers, and 2 Easter eggers as well. So that's been fun. On the other side of this coop, we have a flower box that has some asters and amazing things in there. It had some violas at the beginning of the season. And then we have 2 more of our brassica cages here. So we have Brussels sprouts growing in both of those, and some more fun flowers planted along the side of the chicken coop. We have our 2 pink flowering dogwoods that go along the backside here. So hopefully as these grow up and get bigger, they'll create some nice shade in the backyard. This is our orchard. All of these trees are either dwarf or semi-dwarf. So we have a Macintosh, a Jonathan apple, we have a Fuji apple, we have a Honeycrisp apple, we have a cherry tree, a mulberry tree, a plum tree, a peach tree, a pear tree, and 2 fig trees. We have 2 fig trees because one of them I thought was dead, so we got a replacement, and it's not dead, so I have to find a new home for it. This is the first of our berry beds. So this has a blueberry that's going to get much larger. So I'm going to plant some strawberries around the outside until it gets larger. We had a really large sunflower that was like a multi-shoot volunteer one, and it got knocked over by the storm the other day too, so you'll see it laying over. But we have more blueberry plants and the alpine strawberries, which are the white or yellowish strawberries. Delicious. They taste like a strawberry and a pineapple had a baby. We have a first of our 3 grape plants. This bed has more of our alpine strawberries and blueberries in it. We have 2 more blueberry plants and more of the alpine strawberries. That's our fig that needs a home. There is another grape plant, so I'm going to have to take some time to train them up since they're large enough. These are our golden raspberries. They're right now making their second wave of fruit. They're a little sweeter than normal raspberries, so I kind of like those. Peach tree. This is our first blackberry bush. Our 3rd grape. 2 more blackberries. And then these all have the alpine strawberries all the way around them. And then this last bed has 2 currant plants and more of the alpine strawberries in that as well. So it is end of August. Everything is a little tired, a little struggling, a little thirsty, just like all of us. It is also back to school time. So Olivia and I had a fun vacation. She's back in school now. We are settled back into the new routine. And it is time to give this garden some attention. So it has been pretty neglected for the last few weeks, and I'm excited to dive back in. So I'm glad that you guys are here with me for all the projects that we're going to be doing. I want to thank you guys for all the likes and the comments and the shares. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. We have a whole lot more growing and preserving and fun things to do. So can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye, my friend.